Thank you so much. And on behalf of our students, our staff, and our administration, we would also like to thank Ms. Ulrich, Dr. Hackett, and Mr. Elwine for your service. And personally, I want to thank you for choosing me as your superintendent. And I promise, even when you're gone and off the board, I know where each of you live, and if needed, we hope we see you again, truly. No, not a threat. But thank you, and thank you for your service. Tonight, rather than doing a typical superintendent report, I'm actually going to go back over a discussion that we had at last week's meeting as it relates to quality point calculations, because we do have a large presentation this evening that Dr. Davis will be providing on our outcomes. So just to begin, just some discussions that happened at last week's meeting. We felt like it was necessary to just give a little bit of additional information as to the process for how we reached the decision to change the quality point calculations for C-level grades and honors and AP courses. And I just want everybody to know that this did work 5 seconds ago. Oh, there we go. All right. I just have to raise my hand a little higher. So the first thing that I want to do is just do a quick overview of the history on the quality point calculations here at Mount Lebanon. This particular topic has been a topic for about 10 years. In 2014, the minutes from the Curriculum Council Committee reflected that it seems that current weighting systems discourages borderline students from taking more challenging courses as opposed to encouraging students to take more challenging courses. In the 2021-2022 school year, a philosophical discussion about adding weighted calculations for C grades to honors and AP courses continued. In previous discussions, no changes were recommended to be made to these calculations. Again, in the 2022-2023 school year, the discussion continued, and in the spring of 2023, the Curriculum Council met and agreed to further discuss in the fall of 2023. In October of this year, the Curriculum Council discussed and recommended adding a weight to the C grade in honors and AP courses, and the following components were discussed. First, should a weight be added to honors and AP courses? If so, what weight should be applied? And then finally, when should the weight take effect? And this is, again, just a reminder of our Curriculum Council process. It is composed of, it's basically chaired by the appropriate principal and comprised of the Assistant Superintendent for Secondary Education, the Director of Special Education and Student Support Services, Building Administration, departmental curriculum leaders, school counselors, and other teachers as needed. And I was very thankful to have also an invite to this meeting, which I plan to attend all future ones because I learned a lot. So just a little bit more history in terms of quality point calculations. We have 180 courses offered here at the high school. 40 of those are honors courses, 23 are AP courses, and 117 of those are academic courses. Honors and AP courses make up more than a third of the courses offered to students. Below here, you will see the levels of courses offered, starting with the lowest level of rigor to the highest level of rigor, which is academic courses earn no additional weight for any grade earned. Honors courses earn an additional 1.0 quality point for A's and B's, and AP courses earn an additional 1.5 quality points for A's and B's. On the next section here, what we talked about was, should a weight be added to honors and AP courses for students who earn a C? Last week when we did the presentation, if you were here or if you heard us on Zoom, 6 of the 6 local comparators add weight to their honors and AP courses. None of them, well, most of them are not similar. Everybody applies their own practice and have their own local grading scale for applications of the A through C weights. The level of rigor in coursework increases incrementally from academic to honors and then AP. The amount of rigor or coursework does not change for students who are in these courses and earn a C. So if you earn an A, a B, a C, or a D, everyone's receiving the same assignments and are expected to do the same work. A C, in our mind, is not a failing grade. However, it can be perceived as such in the current grading culture. The next page here is just something that we went over last week. These are the 6 comparators where we looked at how they calculate GPA. You will notice that their calculations for GPA sometimes may require a higher math degree than some of us are perhaps used to. Dr. Davis and I had a really great conversation about this today, where there's a lot involved with the weighted system. Ours is pretty cut and dry, which, of course, can come with some questions, but we are probably most similar to comparator E as to how we apply our weight. And then the next question that we asked was, if we do apply this, what weight should be applied? As I shared before, currently academic courses do not have additional weight. Honors receives a 1.0 quality point for A's and B's, and AP courses are an additional 1.5 quality points for A's and B's. Utilizing the current model, it was recommended the current structure of adding 1.0 for honors courses and 1.5 for AP courses be used for the C grades. And then a reminder again that the rigor and amount of coursework of the course does not change if you earn a C. I think it's also very important to note that when we report to colleges, we report unweighted and weighted, because we do have two systems that we apply for our grading system. This here is just a visual of how that would break down from an A to an E for each of the academic, honors, and advanced placement. And this was something we went over last week. And then on this next page is, when should the weight take effect? We talked quite a bit about this during curriculum council as well. Our historical practice has been to apply changes in graduation requirements with the incoming 9th grade class. Some recent examples of this were the adoption of the computational math class for honors and the credit calculation for health and PE. This particular change will impact a significant number of courses. And the following options were discussed. We talked about applying it with the graduating class of 2025, applying it with the graduating class of 2028, which would be our incoming 9th graders next fall. Most local comparators implement changes in grade weights with a new freshman class. And on the next slide, we'll talk about pros, cons, and additional considerations that we as a committee took a look at. So when we look at the class of 2025, one of the pros is that it has an increase in weighted grades more immediately. In my personal opinion, I like when things happen immediately, but I also know that sometimes things can't, and you have to take a step back. In terms of cons, this is a less streamlined way to approach the changes. It's not consistent with what we've done before in the past. Also, all current students, when they scheduled for courses, did not have information that grade weighting may change, and that may have affected their decisions. Some additional considerations that we talked about were, should all previous C's earned be changed to the new weighted system? And if so, this will improve the QPA for students and may impact ranking for other students who also carry a weighted QPA. And if not, 64 courses may need to receive new course codes or alternative grading scales to ensure new weighted system is implemented moving forward without interfering with previous grades earned. And then finally, is this equitable for students who may have considered taking one of these courses if a C received a weighted grade? And then in terms of the class of 2028, pros, streamlined way to approach changes consistent with what we've done before in the past. It does not affect grades already earned by classes of 2025 through 2027. The con is that it does not impact the graduating classes of 2025 to 2027. And then some additional considerations that we talked about was communication would occur to all students, families about the new calculation method, and allow all students to consider their options before scheduling for classes. Colleges and universities, it allows us to maintain the current profile and transcript for rising sophomores through seniors, as it describes the current grading structure, and create a separate profile and transcript for incoming freshmen that describes the new grading structure. And then competition for things like scholarships and other academic honors like cum laude need to have academic information that is equitable and consistent for students in a class. And so what you'll see on this last page is our recommendation, which is to maintain the academic courses earn no additional weight for any grade earned. Honors courses earn an additional 1.0 quality point for A's, B's, and C's. AP courses earn an additional 1.5 quality points for A's, B's, and C's, and that we implement this change beginning with the class of 2028.
Thank you. That concludes your reports? All right, thank you.